Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 16 already. Episode 16, that's the 4-month mark, guys, so congratulations on that. But yeah, episode 16 of the Forsaken Council, and tonight we are honoured and pleased to have a wonderful guest, GD Raiken. Welcome to the show, Raiken. I also discovered today that I've been spelling Raiken's name wrong for about 6 months. Which was a little bit awkward. It was a little bit awkward, and yeah, I felt a bit dumb, but we got it right in the end. So there's that covered. So we've got the raid briefing to talk about. We've got today's update, which was a lot better than I originally thought it was going to be. And Raiken's got a few bits as well. So we're probably going to struggle to fit it all into the hour, but I think we should get there. So it should be a fun-packed show. So. TSM, do you want to open up with the slides? Or not? Or okay, there. I don't know if you guys have realised, but all three of you are muted. I don't know, Dave.
Yeah, I muted myself on purpose, mate.
Ah, right, okay. No. I mean, if you muted yourself on purpose, fine. I wasn't sure if any of you realised you were all three of you were muted. But Are you doing this on purpose, all three of you? You're all just muting yourself to leave me to do all the talking on my own? Is that the plan? Okay.
No, we're trying to minimize background noise.
Ah, okay. Okay, bug fixes and tuning, and a shot of me there, which is great to see for everyone. But bug fixes and tuning. Okay. The quick stuff. So fixed a case where the Revenge would not receive damage from certain damage types. Now I know that this is something people are really happy about, so it will be something maybe we'll talk about a little bit more. Target intel report can now be accessed on all applicable targets by clicking the info button for that target. Fixed an issue that could cause base parts to be used when fast equipping a turret, which I did not realise. Fix an issue where base parts might be charged before a build was started when topping off gold for an instant build. Okay, didn't know that either. Weapons. Sorry, this is the big one. This is the one I was most excited about and most surprised about because I wasn't expecting this. I don't know, Raiken, where it came from. It was kind of one you threw out from nowhere, but it was great to see because the stuff that's in here is stuff that that I've been asking about for quite some time, and that is, of course, the assault rockets, inferno rockets, lockdown rockets, siege rockets. Now that's no coincidence because we're seeing a mortar hull, so we're seeing mortar/rocket hull, so we're seeing reduction on rocket properties. So that's exactly the same as what we've seen when we've seen the Citadel. We've seen all the mortars and the mortar specials brought down. So they've done the same there, which is great. And the armors, finally, D5E and D4E, the most used armors in the game. They're finally down. And
day off.
See, I don't understand why these came down, right? Because to be honest with you, I don't use evade armor on any of my hulls now.
I do.
Nah, man. I mean, like any deflection hull, evade is really not all that useful. You look at the targets we're hitting in raids, and they've got like 1,000% accuracy. Dude, I mean, it's not possible for you to have enough evade on there, right? The only thing I can think is that maybe there's some changes coming, and we just don't know about them.
Maybe, but I still think, even with that set aside, like I still think evade is still a very probably one of the most used armors. I mean, the deflection did change a lot with the introduction of the D5M, the D5X, D5C, but there's still a place for it, I think. I mean, I tend to find I use it less now, but I still use it quite frequently. In particular, like on the Revenge, bringing the Revenge's evade up to 80% was a must-have for me. So, that was a hole I used it on.
And what's interesting, looking at the reduction in the Inferno rocket there, that's mental.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. The rockets are mental. And can you believe the Inferno rocket was ever that high? But
no, that's true.
Yeah. And again, these specials, I mean, for me, the specials are amazing because Agility System is my most used special. And
2 days off.
It was one that it sickens me, that special, when I have to put that onto a ship. You can be looking at 10 days just to add 5 specials to a fleet. It's crazy. So that was so good to see. And the combustion system, which is now very much a highly used special, especially for mortars. So that was great to see. And the countermeasure loaders. Now, I kind of get why that was put in there, because that's going to be the one thing that people start piling onto their guards to stop the new hull, I guess. So it's much like the Centurion event. You've kind of, for me, Raiken, what it looks like you've done is you've picked all of the tech that maybe players would use to not only to build these hulls but to defend against them, and you've swiped down and give it a sweep over and reduce the times, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely what we focus on, right? We're like, okay, these are things that we expect players to use both with and to work against, like, the thing that we're releasing. And so when we're trying to evaluate where we want build times to be for this particular call, we look at things that we think players might equip or counter-equip or whatever to and focus on reducing those so that the build times come within where we want it to be. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head with the stuff that you reduced as well, because I mean the other stuff that I was thinking of using besides this stuff has already been reduced in the past, right?
Well, do you know one special I was curious about was cluster warheads, which is the rocket reload special.
I don't think it's useful, mate, because most of these rockets you're looking at, it would take their reload to below 0.2, and you can't go below 0.2, so it'd be a waste of a special.
That's true, especially with legendary rank now taking things to 400%.
Exactly, you know, you got to look at the reload of it. Once you hit 0.2 of a second, you can't get any faster. So trying to add stuff to make the reload better at that point is useless.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, no, that's a good point. You're right. You're totally right. Okay, that's
Laredo asked, what patch is that on your right arm, Raiken?
Yeah, I just saw that.
What is it? Yeah.
This is the team patch that we get for our jacket. It's our Battle Pirates patch. So if you're on Battle Pirates team.
Okay.
Awesome. Raiken, how much? And do you need my postal address? Just kidding. I would love one of those patches just for the record, Kixeye. You know. Would also love a Mercedes, but that'll never happen. So. Okay, guys. Do we want to talk anything more about the reductions? The reductions were a brilliant step by Kixeye, and you know I've said this about all the reductions. You know, anything that gets lower or cheaper to build is good for the community, and it was great to see those items done. So
there's some good items, good selection in there.
Civil War Escalation. Unless you've been living under a rock or playing a different game, you would not know. How would you not know about this raid? So Zoe and Harlock's feud has reached a fevered pitch. The Forsaken face-off against the Legion is a no-holds-barred confrontation. I like that. Civil War Escalation begins on June the 16th, which is tomorrow. The event will begin in Alpha World at 9 AM PDT, and every hour until all worlds are online. Relocation will be disabled Thursday morning. Friends lists will be limited to 10 friends. That's an update, isn't it? I mean, it used to be no friends, or am I wrong?
It was 10 last time, but yeah, you're right. At some stage, it had none, didn't it? But,
why is what I want to know? Do you know what I want to know? I want to know what's going on with this whole separation between Zoe and Harlock, right? Because, you know, like, whose side are you on? Right, I'm on Zoe's personally. I chose Zoe's on the forum, my forum signature and everything. Like there was this big thing on the forum where you could choose and you put it in your signature. Why is that? Are we gonna get to some point where that goes somewhere? Can you talk about that, Raiken?
Yeah, sure. Why not? So. So basically, as you guys may or may not know, it's like Zoe and Harlock disagree, right? It started when the Dracs were invading, and Zoe's kind of like, hey, Harlock, we need to, like, battle these guys and take them out and get them away, because, like, if we show them that we're weak, like, you know, we're going to get ruffle stomped and they're just going to come in, right? And Harlock was like, no, we need to be very tactful about this, because if we piss them off, then, you know, they're going to just bum rush us anyways with this, because this is only like a fraction of their army. And Zoe disagreed with that, and so she went out on rogue and just was like, no, I'm going to do this. And that was kind of the last raid cycle. And now this raid cycle, Zoe's like, Harlock, you're dumb. I'm a better leader than you. I'm going to form my own little group called the Legion. And now we're gonna take over, and we're gonna be better than you, right? And so, in not this month, but next month, we're gonna let you choose which side you're representing.
No! No, I don't know, man.
And will that have like different strengths and weaknesses depending on which side you're on?
Yeah, we're definitely looking into
Amazing.
certain buffs and things that you get for depending on which side you choose.
Awesome.
Just please, right? Please. My only apprehension with that is something I've seen in another Kixeye game, which I won't mention. But I would just please don't make it so you'll be limited to getting either a tech for one party or a tech for the other party.
No, it's not. This is just for fun.
Right. Oh, then brilliant. Then that will be absolutely brilliant.
Can I be a Draken?
Monster, you can be anything you want.
I'm going to be the Scourge.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, that's good to know.
They should make a new faction called Monsters.
Backyard.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. Moving on. Yeah.
So, bottom point.
Okay. Where were we? Sorry, I'm just going to pin your
relocation.
So, relocation will be disabled Thursday morning. Friends list will be limited to 10 friends. Sector threat, base part targets, Drake mining bases, gantry, and assault targets will be disabled during events. So nothing new there, guys. We kind of knew what was coming with that one. Earning event points. So let's go into how you're going to earn event points. Now, Doom did post this up last week, but there has been, I think there was some changes in the way it was.
Yeah, it's slightly different now.
Mm-hmm. So 3 sets of assault forces targets will spawn on the world map, A, B, and C set. Targets as well as the S level elite Zoe's megaship. The levels A83 and B67 targets are no longer equipped with megaships. Instead, they will be Legion assault forces. However, the level A86 and B65 targets will still include megaships. So that'll be the.
Yeah, I changed that to make it a bit more obvious which ones were what and which sets they're in. So just to A and B them instead of just leaving them as numbers.
And that'll be the last target in the set for clarification. Assault forces targets will have tiles with buildings and turrets, plus patrolling Zoe Rhinos and heavy cruiser ships. Weapon targets will include remote targeting long-range missiles and scatter guns. Your assault ships will do the best in these targets. And also, guys, as Mark has boxed there, these are not co-op targets.
Yeah, I thought I'd emphasise that point.
Definitely, yeah, that's something worth pointing out. Total target points. Each target is worth a maximum number of points, as noted below. Completing a set will award a completion bonus. So C set will award 80,000 points.
Sorry, can I just stop you? Rooster just put in the chat, yeah, this is a bit wrong. The S level and level 86A will be the only megaships. Sorry.
Oh, right.
Okay. Sorry. So the S level, as in the megaship for the 3 million points, the biggest one you can do, will still have the megaship.
And the 86A will as well.
Right. So just the last target of the A set.
Okay, because that's what was said last week, and then the release note today had B65 in it as well.
Yeah, he said it was changed last night.
Yeah, there was. He did actually type an extra bit of like a second.
Okay, I missed that. That's my mistake. Okay, well, that's good news. So it's just the 86 then.
No, thanks for clarifying that, Doom. I appreciate that. Okay, so C set 80,000 points. Is that 80,000 points total?
That's add it all up, and that's everything all in. Yeah.
Okay. B sets is
607k.
Are you sure that that's all the points in total in a C set?
We can add it up if you want to.
Not a lot of points, is it?
It's 80k.
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, you're right. It is. Yeah, I was miscounting there. Okay, I was just checking up on you. Just checking. Okay, B set 607k. Still not really great there. Going to be difficult to grind that, depending on its difficulty. A set is 2.7 million total.
2.69, yeah.
The S level is 3.7 mil, which I don't remember. Was it that big last time? I thought it was 2.7 mil last time. Maybe.
No, it was 3.4. I think 3.4, 3.5.
What for the S?
Yeah.
It was up. It was up over 3. I think it was 3.5 mil, somewhere around 3.5 million.
So 3.7 it is now.
Okay.
The good thing about the B set, I think, is obviously because there's no mega ships in there, you've got more chance to grind.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just over 500,000, so it's not horrendous, because that's what killed people off. They had to do B sets and then they had to do mega ships as well within those B sets. Not Zoe's one, but it's still mega ships.
It's more plausible to grind with maybe some lower end tech as well, like maybe.
Well, exactly. I think Rhinos and things will do okay actually.
And 607k isn't bad. You know, if you're grinding, 607k isn't that bad. You know, especially if the targets aren't as harsh as they were last time.
And if you're a player that's hitting in the B set, then you're probably not ready to be winning the A set prizes anyway. Correct?
Basilisk Tart is a sort of thing, and I'm just thinking that you probably get through, even if you did one set in 12 hours, you'd still get through a few million points there. You get close. Sorry, 2 sets in 12 hours. You just about make it, sort of stuff. You have to sit down and do a bit of time, and then put them on to fix, obviously, you know, if you're not going to coin. But it's feasible.
Okay.
And for reference to like the B set, these are roughly double from last month in terms of the payouts. Like I actually have the numbers. In front of me. They're roughly double.
Yeah, so roughly double the payout with less damage.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that they were double. So that's
Yeah,
good.
no, it is. That was a point that was made a couple of weeks ago when the early release note came out, so that that's been looked at and it's been adjusted accordingly. So I think that's reasonable. That's reasonable.
So are we looking at the same raid in terms of how the targets are, just for more points, or are we looking at a slightly dumbed down raid for more points as well?
It's the same layout, right? But just less damage.
Yeah.
And more points.
Yeah, so exactly. So it's the same stuff. I mean, we've obviously removed the mega holes to a certain degree and replaced them with the missile forces of like comparable difficulty, right? And then we've retuned because we got feedback from everybody. So you know, we got data representing like how much damage people were taking. So we've retuned accordingly based on that data and that feedback, and then improved the point payout to help people out.
Okay. And can I ask? It's something that for my own, actually, this has nothing to do with the game, but well, it's nothing to do with some of the game, but it's more to do with the artwork. So the gargoyle turrets that you have in the base, are they just placeholders? Yeah. Are they just placeholders for the actual turrets?
So here's the story. So we basically we didn't have the art bandwidth to make a Forsaken / Legion looking like scattergun. We haven't made one of those, and we're like, okay, well, we want it to be thematic, right? Like artistically, we want it to look like a Forsaken Legion because it'd be weird to see like a Drac thing in like a Forsaken Legion kind of style target. So the gargoyle was our closest comp to that look, and we figured that people would eventually figure out, like on the first shot, like you see like scatterguns coming at you, like we figured like, oh, okay, well that's clearly scatterguns, right? And we didn't tell you like, hey, it does corrosive damage, right? Like in the little info pop-up, we're like, it does corrosive. So that was the reason. It's not the best of reasons. I mean, obviously we'd like to have a Forsaken scattergun like actual look, but that's the logistics behind it. It was just a resource problem.
Well, you can always. I mean, if you guys feel like it, you're more than welcome to upgrade the gargoyle to make ours work just like that.
That'd be nice.
Saying. Yeah, just saying. But I mean, you know.
Is there a level lock on the B sets, and if so, what is it?
There's a reduction, isn't there, in output of points if you're too high a level.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no level lock then.
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay, but if you're too high a level, do we know what level that is? Like, what level do you have to be before you start losing points?
Well, they're locked to you, Gadget, and that's all you need to know.
I'm going to be hitting the mega holes, mate.
See, I think it's a bit daft doing them to your base level, because there's 60s and 70s out bloody there, and 80s as well. That still haven't got the fleets to hit.
Fleet level. You're saying you should lock them to your fleet level.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what, Raiken, that's actually something that's come up on our show.
Several times.
I noticed.
Is people talking about, in terms of base hitting, is locking it to fleet level as opposed to player level? Now, I know it's probably a really, really, really complicated subject, but how do you, Kixeye, feel about that?
Just to add to that, they already do this in Vega Conflicts, and that's a Kixeye game, right?
Yeah. So this discussion has come up several times with the team. We recognize that player level is not always the most accurate representation of how great a player is. It's more of a veterancy thing. It's like how long you can play. And so I've spoken to the team. I actually have a way of doing it such that I can dynamically create a fleet level based on what you actually have equipped and what benefits you're receiving from those equipped components. So that each ship basically contributes towards a fleet level, and then that creates kind of the fleet level. And I could do something similar for bases. This is just like a high concept, but basically, if I were to be able to do that, or we had time to be able to do that, which we are trying to figure out how we can do it, then we could implement that system, and then it would strictly be we could go back and be like, hey, this event target is fleet level locked to this range or whatever. Or if it's like, hey, bring this fleet level, and if you go higher or whatever, then we'll reduce the points like we do now or whatever. But that way, it's more of a better gauge of strength for the thing that you're bringing to battle, and then we can make the levels of the targets match to like the difficulty. So, for example, if your fleet's level 30 and you go hit a level 30 target, for example, then that would be like a comparable fight. Like that'd be like a 50-50 kind of feel. Right? That's the general idea.
So it's kind of on the table, but just without a time frame.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm. Well, that's good to hear, because I do think that some. Well, I don't know. I don't really know what would be the best alternative. Is my honest opinion, but I think that just about anything you could come up with would probably be an improvement on what we currently have. That would kind of be where my thought.
I completely agree with you. I've brought it up several times. The team's talked about it. We definitely want to do something about it. It's just like we got to figure out when.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So we have the next slide. Raid progression notes. You can track your completion progress in the event module. Okay. Defeating a target will mark the completion in the module. Continuous target completions will count towards future set completions. Once a set is complete, the module will clear and reset with previously completed targets marked in the module. Hitting targets that are below your recommended level will result in fewer points, and you can use the locator key L to find targets of all sets or specific sets.
Yeah, that's module, mate. It's just Americanism. That's all.
Is that how they spell? Is that how people spell module in America? Is it?
No, we spell it. Put it that way. But that's what it means anyway.
Okay.
So key L will hit. You'll be able to find things in, won't you? So.
Yeah, we say mobile, so if you,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that doesn't exist for us. We call it module, so but it doesn't matter. The point is, it is what it is. So yeah, normal things. If you can't find your target, press key L, and up it'll pop, and then it'll give you a bit of an indication of where to go and find it. So it'll speed things up for you.
What do you mean if you can't find your target?
Well, some people can't. They seem to struggle to find the numbers, don't they?
So if you say, for example, you're highlighting A sets and you've hit an 80, and you press key L, does it take you to an 83 and 86?
It should find all the ones that you need.
Oh, okay. Then that is something new. Is that new, or is that just me just discovering it?
That's you being a noob, mate.
I just discovered. I'm learning so much today. It's been
life's an education.
Been great already. Okay. Well, yeah, but I'm sure I'm not alone. Guys, for the record, you can press key and L, okay, and you can get stuff done like that.
Just the L key brings up the menu. Yeah.
Oh, a level 99 man of war. Do you know what? That's a great number, 99. Level 99 man of war target that begins spawning near the relay towers on Saturday the 18th at midday PST. So there's some uranium, guys, throughout the event. They will have uranium payout of 42k upon completion, which is great. The target is not worth any event points as before, and they will continue to spawn hourly throughout the rest of the event.
Okay.
Gadget, are you going to send down your ghost cooler again?
I was waiting for that.
Gadget,
what? You mean that ghost crawler that I took out of the target that we were both hitting that you wanted and I got?
Oh, do you know what, right? This is what annoys me about Gadget. He stole my thunder. Like I was meant to win a ghost crawler. And I killed like 78% of this target, and Gadget was in there, and he got like 28% or something. And I give him the ghost crawler.
That's the risk, mate. That's the risk.
And I just met Gadget as well, and I was like, oh yeah, come to my sector for the raid, mate. Yeah.
Do you know what? It's called Battle Pirates, not Battle Buddies.
I know, but you know what? I helped you out there. I was like Jesus on the cross, I sacrificed to give you. Okay.
Okay, there's a payout anyway.
Why is it so low for the payouts?
Well, it's 37. Is it 37 1,000, I think, in total. So it gets you through it, doesn't it? There's no one upgrades. I mean, the only big expensive thing we've got to do really is upgrade hulls if you're going to that, but no one ever does them anyway anymore.
Yeah,
So.
can I just say, guys, I really don't understand why you only activate the uranium on Saturday. Activate it on Thursday when you start the raid. People will still hit them. People still need uranium. People use uranium during the raid, right? Like, I'm usually, a lot of the time, like, say I've got an R&D that's going to finish right early in the raid. I'll dump all my uranium, setting the next R&D up, and then I'll be stuck until Saturday waiting for more uranium, and it's really, really frustrating, and I kind of don't understand why you guys do that.
I mean, that's good feedback. I'm not directly responsible for this particular aspect, but I can definitely forward it to team members, and I'll discuss it with them and get your frustration.
I thought it was as the world's come online and as you start ramping the things up, because obviously sometimes in the old days, I have to say, things are much better than they used to be. But we used to get the screen of death and that sort of stuff as more and more worlds came online, which the stagger has helped a lot. But and I thought then basically you just bring the raid online, slow time sort of stuff, make sure it works for 24 hours, and then kick back the uranium back in maybe.
Do you know what would be an idea to do? Because I imagine the Man of War is something else that you've had to sort of invest resources into making and coding and building, and it's a target then that you have to code into spawn. Why not just have Mardas spawning throughout the raid? Like without a sector threat bar, just Mardas spawning.
I think we tried that once, and it caused us a lot of problems on the server. Like we got reports of lag and
Right.
people aren't able to participate, and so I think it's because of the sheer volume of them, it's hard to keep them in there and have the raid targets. So we have to be kind of more selective about, I think, where and how we spawn things is kind of I think what the decision process is for that. I think it's more of a technical constraint than it is like a product or design one.
Oh, okay.
Can I just say, Doom said in chat about the level lock-in. Level 80 plus will only get 10% from a C set. Level 85 plus will only get 45% in a B set.
I'm not going there then.
Do you know it would be lovely one day to have Doom on as well? Just saying that to you, Doom, there in the chat. It would be lovely to get you on as a guest one evening if you're ever interested. Give us a shout.
You're so needy, you are.
But no, because I can see Doom in the chat there, and he's so spot on at answering some of those questions. So,
but that's good. He's doing his bit, and
So come on, Doom, get on the show, and I promise I won't let Dave pick on you.
Come on, move on.
Right. Don't believe him, Doom. He can't stop me, man.
Did you ever watch the stream when Lucy killed Doom's fleet and she was like, "Ha! I got killed by a girl." Did you ever see that? That was like one of my favourite moments of the streams ever. Okay, event prize list, guys. It's pretty straightforward. It's the same system we've seen the last couple of months, other than obviously the whole store. So it's 2 prizes per tier, and you get to pick. You can't collect 2, can you, Raiken?
No.
Just 1 per tier. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, so 1 per tier. And that's it. I mean, the Apollo's in there again, the Switchblade's in there again, and the new special's in there again. So if you decided, you know what, I'm not really a base hitter. I like to PvE, but I don't hit bases. Then you can stick to the left side and.
I think that's really good the way they've done that. You've got 2 split. If you're a PvE man, you stay left. But if you want to go PvP, you go in the right tier. I think it's a really good way of doing it.
I do too. But I do also want to mention that Apollos are an important hull, and maybe last raid a lot of us didn't think so, myself included. But now we hear a month later, and I do believe that they are an important hull. And if you did miss them, it would probably be, even if you are a base hitter, it would probably be more key to your game to collect the Apollo than it would be to collect the Vendetta. That's just my 2 cents on that. But
well, as you know, mate, the way I work for my alliance, my plan is to get all my guys the Apollo, or as many as I can.
Yeah, so I can speak to this a little bit. So one of the things that we're doing with the prize list is we have that left side and the right side. So the left side with the Apollo and the right side with the Vendetta. So basically every time we start a new raid cycle, we'll be switching out the left side with a new set of things that are best built for that raid cycle. And we'll introduce a new hull that's also best built for that raid cycle, right? Just like the Apollo is. And so every single month for the duration of that event cycle, that left side will be exactly the same for all 4 months. And then on the right side, every month that will cycle. So if you invest early and get the left side and you like the thing on the right, great. Now you get the thing on the right and your rates become effectively cheaper. So and if you missed it, like you went on vacation or like you just couldn't be there that day or whatever, it'll be there next month. So that's kind of like what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that like people have the opportunity to get the thing that they need to be successful in the raid in order to get the things that they want. So.
And I'll just say quickly before I go on, while I built the slides, Andrew built these pictures, and it makes it really clear. So, yet again, Andrew, kudos to you, mate. You've done a brilliant job there.
Yes, Andrew is our hidden angel. He does so much for the show that, he's never. I can never thank the guy enough. He's so good with the artwork for the website and stuff. And anyway, so guys, we're going to hit into the other prizes on offer.
That's unlocked. Yeah.
The unlocked stuff. Now, what I found very interesting is that we've seen 3 turrets added in here, and it is something that we talk about a lot. So it's great to see it because it's needed. I think that the turrets they've included as well are great turrets for players to catch up on if they don't have them or have missed them. Especially considering the Basilisk was only a Forsaken mission prize just a couple of months ago. So it's great. It's great to see that in there.
Yeah, I mean this kind of came out of a discussion with the town hall folk that we have every once in a while. It was like, hey, like this is all great, but like there's no way for us to get like some of the defense tech needed in order to like have this engaging experience that you're trying to create with a lot of the new halls. So a way to gain access to them through the raid would be like for more accessibility purposes would be a really good thing to do. And so we listened to that and we picked these out. We're like, hey, these are really strong turrets for people to kind of pick up and use, and will be useful to some degree. So we're like, okay, well we'll put these here and we'll see how it goes. So so we're just responding to what the town hall folk were telling us about needing more defensive turrets being re-released.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say as well, you see with these fragments, I'd be a lot more inclined to buy fragments if you had fragments in there that could help me with my citadels.
I didn't know you were going to say that.
Isn't there one in its last?
It's coming up in a minute, yeah.
Yeah, but not until R5.
Oh, come on, bud. You're like a top-tier player.
Come on.
Gadget wants the world.
Just want it all, don't you? I mean, just take.
So, I put the 2 comments on the right-hand side there. Okay, there's a badge, because there's a lot of badge collectors. I've got a couple in my alliance. They like their badges to stick on their faces.
I do like a nice shiny badge. I do like a badge.
But I wasn't... Someone explained to me the top bit. I put it up there, but I don't get it. The achievement bit.
What new achievement? What's so civil?
Well, it's an achievement. Badges are different to achievements. When you look at your profile, you have a list of achievements, and you also have lists of badges, right? So that's just for the achievement.
Just 2 different, yeah. They're 2 different.
I'm not bothered about badges, but I just so I don't go in that area. I must admit.
I'm gonna get a new tramp stamp. Look.
Is that what it is? Is it? Okay.
I love a badge. I always collect the badges. I do love a good badge.
Badger. Right. Okay. Move on.
And this is the higher priced part. Well, I don't know, not the higher priced part, but what is great to see in there is a Deadeye Executioner, because as we all know, that kills revenges very well. So that is great to see that in there. The Garrison class tier 6 fragments gadget. No, nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
The Man of War shards, Ghost Core shards, Hellstar shards, and Proto Nemesis shards. Now there's 20 available of each again, which is good. I'll be collecting them.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But the Deadeye Executioner comes at a high price, but I guess it's right for what it is. But if you're looking to get all Deadeye Executioners, you've got some grinding ahead of you this raid. That's going to be 60 million for that. But.
Yeah, I got my Apollos built. I'm content with what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think so. I mean, are you one of the people, Mark, that is going to need to grind that, or? I
am definitely going to get all those Deadeyes, because I've only got one. Because I didn't do that limited, because I just didn't have the tech at the time.
Right.
So I had to miss something out.
So if you've got 1 and you can pick up another 6, does that mean we can have 7?
No, the limit's not increasing. So this is just for people to catch up to the 6 limit. So if you already have like 3 or 2 or whatever, then you can catch up.
No, that's cool because I've got 6, so I won't bother there.
God, have you got all your 6 build, Monster? Do you need them all, do you?
Of course I have.
Yeah, Monster, you just want everything, don't you? You want the world.
Greedy.
Just so greedy.
Okay, guys. So is that everything? No, it's not, because we're now going to talk about the prizes, of course, guys. And thank you all for bearing with us through the slides. So the prizes. I know that this is something Gadget's quite keen to talk about as well. So the Vendetta Hole, Gadget, feel free. Why don't you take the stage and talk about it?
Dude, all I can say about this is awesome sauce, right? I mean, it's amazing. I'm so chuffed that they lowered the build time so much. It's like just under 6 hours for a naked hull, right? So you could build 5 naked hulls in like a day and 6 hours. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Fully equipped. I mean, fully equipped with Pando morts and armor and specials. You're looking 10 days. If you use the new weapons and you're a little bit more picky about your specials and their build times, you're looking 7 days, right? I mean, 7 days. When have we ever seen a top-level hull that's a 7-day build fully equipped?
Do not highlight that too much because they'll bloody change it.
And not only that, but I mean, a build with over 50,000 armor is going to be under a 4-hour repair, right? I mean, I'm sorry, but those 2 points right there are amazing, and I really think that I think it's a positive thing, and I think that people need to respond to it positively.
Yeah,
you know
it's the cheapest build time to date. It's the cheapest repair to date when you take that armor into consideration. It is.
And maybe they're trying out a new thing, and maybe if it goes well, the trend might continue.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know anything, but I'm just speculating here.
If you go out and coin 5 of these, then next month they'll be cheap too.
Yeah, you know, if nobody coins them, next month we have a 20-day build hull.
Look, me and Gadget will coin like 10 just to compensate for the community, and then you guys get in there and build some, and we'll send out the message. All right. Other than the prices, guys,
I think Monster had something to say about the hull.
It's not so much the hull, mate. It was about the repair time for the amount of armor points it's got. I'd like to see that rolled out across all of the fleets, because my Hellstar is 70,000, and that's a 3.5-day fix.
So, boo hoo! You got a Hellstar.
Poor Hellstar.
It's not boo-hoo, but if that's the type of repair time you're getting for 40k points, mate, it's sort of like...
Wouldn't you be far happier if they brought out something so that when you used your Hellstar in your dock slot, it didn't launch drones?
Yes.
I'm just saying, just a suggestion. I think that would be a really good addition, right? When you're using your Hellstar in your half-repaired dock slot, it doesn't launch drones. I think that would be a great addition, because I think that's the #1 complaint from Hellstar owners is that they have to launch their fleet to drain the drones, and once they've drained the drones, they can't put it in the half-repair slot because it requires repair.
Look, I don't want to hear a bloody complaint from the Hellstar owners, right?
It's not only just that. It's like I was thinking about these new mega hulls in gantries and stuff. Now, if we're going to start and use our big fleets to go and fight like that, it's going to put like our big fleets down for days. And
yeah, that's a really good point, Monster. I never even thought about that.
It would just be nice to see a reduction in rep time, like.
Yeah, I never even thought about that. Like, you might want to go and smack a mega hull and support it with your Hellstar.
Yeah.
But that would then cost you like a 3-day repair.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that would discourage you from doing that.
Yep.
Well, let's slightly move on, yeah, shall we? Let's because we are going on.
So the Vendetta hull, what I've noticed there, look at the defense stats. There's one key element missing there. Just thought I'd highlight that.
Defense stats.
Look what's missing. What can't it defend against?
Well, we already know that it can't defend against ballistic.
Actually, there's two.
Explosive.
Not one. There's ballistic and explosive.
Ballistic and explosive. Now, I don't know for anyone that didn't manage to catch we were lucky enough to be allowed to stream from the preview server on Monday, where there was lots of clips of this hole hitting my base and me hitting bases with it. So definitely go and check that out. But yeah, it's weak to ballistic and it's weak to explosive. That's the two elements. But it's all.
And another thing worth mentioning is because of this massive negative evade stat, arbalest and crossbows are very effective against it.
I mean, also I did in the preview server, I managed to get in as well once it went public as well, and I literally all I did was play with my guard. I kept changing my guard and my turrets around a little bit, and then next time somebody else come in and hit me, and I did that 6 times, and I managed to get a guard that killed the Apollos, and it killed the Vendetta in the end.
Well, I think what's interesting is it's kind of this hole is also strong against all the things the Revenge is weak to, and that's definitely worth highlighting. Raiken, did you want to add anything about the hole?
Sorry. So let's see. The thing that we did, I think we changed from the second preview to live is we added the field resistance buff on the Bloodthirst. Because we saw like a lot of people getting stifled by the glacial, and we liked that to a certain degree, but it created an immediate hard counter against like basically a rat thing, which I thought was kind of odd. But we liked the fact that the slow was effective to a certain degree, so we feel that allowing for the counterplay of the defender, how they organize their base and that sort of thing, to kind of stifle that a little bit, but also provide the Vendetta user like the ability to actually navigate through some of those cryofields was an appropriate response to that. And then for the rest of it, I don't think we really touched a whole lot other than I think that's basically it on the Vendetta.
Oh, I didn't know that you'd done that.
I got a question related
Fire
to
field
that.
resistance plus 50%.
No, field resistance, but I've got a question. Will that stack with shielded tactical systems, which gives you 30% tactical field resistance?
So I can't say for sure because our code is weird, but my assumption based on what I know would be that it would, and that it would stack multiplicatively.
So it would be 30% of the remaining 50, which would be 60. It would go to 65%.
Right. I believe that's how it would work. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, that's in, and I'm glad you added that because I was that is something I did actually forget to even mention before Raiken was that I did notice that when you would go into the glacial turret, it would almost stop dead. Like it had been 100%.
Oh, and sorry, just one more thing. Are the current stats that we see in our shipyard now the final stats that we're going to see on it? Barring anything weird happening.
In design mode, you mean, Gadget?
Yeah. When I go into my shipyard,
mm-hmm.
the stats that I see on this hull are they the final stats?
Okay, so we've done a lot of stuff on testing the Vendetta, right? Like we did 2 previews, which is way more than normal. And then we did a lot of internal testing. So unless like something is clearly bugged for whatever reason, or like it self-destructs randomly, or whatever, our goal is to not touch it. And to be for the record, like we don't like touching hulls after the release as much as you guys. Like that's extra work for me. I hate doing extra work. That sucks. So like. Like we'll make mistakes. We're not like infallible, right? We're like we will make mistakes and we will correct our mistakes when we make them, right? And we work to do that. But our goal always is to release a pristine hull that doesn't need any touching. So from my perspective today, we don't need to change anything, and I'm hoping that we don't ever have to change anything. Like I would hate to have to do that. That's why I did extra work on I think we learned a lot from like how the Revenge is, right? And it was the very first Conqueror hull that we ever did. And so we're like, okay, what does it mean to be a Conqueror hull? Let's try this. Does this work? And we've learned a lot as we've had to kind of iterate on it even after we've released it. And to much to our dismay, like we're always like, I don't want to touch it anymore. So So with this one, we took a lot of those learnings, we've applied it, and so we're going to see how much of those learnings translated, and if there really is anything else we need to do, and hopefully take that forward to the next one. And so as we make more and more conqueror holes, it'll start becoming more and more stable about like, okay, we're very confident in that we're not going to have to change anything. But as of today, I have no qualms with what it is today. So I hope that we don't have to do anything. Like, that's our goal.
Okay.
Working as intended.
So it's just a switchblade that you're going to change.
Bloody switchblade.
That is a long story, dude.
And I have a bit of a question. Why so high on the penetrative deflection? Does this mean that there's a new weapon coming out that's going to be really high damage? Because 15,000 is way. It's more than double what my Deadeyes will do.
I'm thinking something about your gantry, mate, and your hull that's coming.
Because my Deadeyes have got a 90% buff coming from fire support. They're carrying about 3,600 damage per projectile after deflection. So 15,000 is way higher than they do.
Yeah, correct. So the thing with the Vendetta that we wanted to make absolutely certain versus like what we kind of saw with the Revenge is we wanted to say the Vendetta part counters penetrative damage, period. So in order to do that, we took it to the extreme. We actually sat and did a lot of math and calculation to determine what is the optimal maximum amount of damage you could actually do per shot. And it actually approached that number. I'm not even kidding. It approached that number.
Blimey.
So we said, okay, even in the most extreme case, no matter what you can do, this will stop pen no matter what. And on top of that, it'll be great for, obviously, like you guys kind of alluded to, like the mecha hulls, because they're gonna be crazy, right? And we want conqueror hulls, obviously, to be like a really great choice in a PvP battle against mecha ship. So we're like, okay, well, we got to make sure that that's also true. So there's a lot of forward thinking when we put that number in, and that's why we landed on it. So.
Okay, awesome stuff. Okay, guys, should we forward to the weapon? Oh, yeah, already have. Well done. So the coaxial Firestorm, it is a rocket/mortar weapon, with the primary mode being rocket, the shorter range, and the secondary mode being mortar. Most of us, I'm sure most of the people watching already understand the weapon and what it's going to do, if not have already seen it. So, guys, what's your take on this? I know we've seen some changes to it. Any opinions on this weapon?
I don't know. I'm still tipping towards the Pando though.
I think we're split on this one.
Yeah, we are, because I'm not 100. I sort of was where Monster's at, right? And then you know I was chatting with Raiken and he mentioned the concussive damage, and then I went back because I completely missed that, and I went back and I looked at it and I was like, you know, that kind of changes things a bit. I'm not actually sure whether this is going to be better in practice than the Pando or not, because I mean the armor buffs are comparable, the damage is comparable because it's 3,920, but it's got a salvo of 3, whereas the Pando has a salvo of 4. So it's actually, I think it actually probably carries a little bit more damage than the Pando
because of the deflection.
Yeah, per projectile because of the salvo, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah, it does.
you know, and also radioactive damage is quite easy to mitigate, whereas concussive damage is not so easy to mitigate.
Because there's nothing for it, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the splashes on a Pando, mate. It's just nuts.
I
was going to split build.
I have to be quite honest with you. Before I didn't spot these changes, and it was actually Gadget that messaged me and said, Liam, they've changed this, and I had another look at it. Until I'd seen that, my number one choice was Pandemonium Mortars, but then I seen the concussive edition, I seen the damage is slightly up, and I seen that the armor points offered by per mortar is 1,800, and that instantly said to me, okay, no, this is going to be the number one choice. So I think maybe that was partly why they did that as well, because I think up until the change here, Pandemonium Mortars were the better option.
And also, just worth mentioning for people who actually care about what they spend on builds, not Monster, right? but they're a little bit less weight, and they're a shorter build time than Pandos.
Yes.
When I put these on my build instead of Pandos, it reduces my build time by a couple of days.
What's the fixed time for a Pando? It's 24 minutes for these. What's the Pando's fixed time?
I will look right now.
That's important as well. If we're going to get back in the battle, if we're going to be using these in the mega holes and just fight the Hyperion as well, You know, that'll be important.
See, I can see where these might be better when you're fighting the mega hulls, simply because they've got those rockets built into it. So that gives you the extra.
But also, say you're running a mixed fleet, and you've got some Revengers with Gatling guns. I mean, the rockets running in and melting the walls. I was even discussing with Gadget.
Pando's exactly the same repair time.
Okay, mate.
I was discussing with Gadget earlier how the new hull. It's plausible that you could even run it as a rocket blitzer, and then just stop with your mortars to take out Serbs, any sort of guards that carry rockets, you know, stuff like that, and then blitz the rest with rockets. It's plausible.
Yeah, the rocket damage is immense, right? I mean, if you fill a Vendetta with these, the rocket damage is like 31,000.
But you could also build them in different ways. Like you could have a lead Vendetta designed to just work off the rockets, right, to melt walls. And then behind that, you could have, say, 2 Revengers with Gatling guns that no longer have to shoot through walls. And then behind those 2, you can have 2 more Vendettas full of mortars with a massive splash. You know, so you've got tank with 2 tanks with 2. Do you know what I mean? So you can tactically set this up. Like,
this is the first combo weapon that's made it versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first coaxial weapon that I'm considering using. All the other ones, honestly, I've got to say, Raiken, before I even looked at them, I said nope.
The Gatling gun was good, man. Come on.
I like the Gatling guns.
Yeah, but that's not really a coaxial weapon. It's exactly the same damage type. It's just a different.
Everyone uses it. Everyone uses it at the far range. They just ignore. It just so happens to be that it'll fire a bit quicker, you know, at short range. But by that time you get in short range, you've killed everything anyway. So.
Yeah, but this is the first one I've actually considered. I think I'm actually going to build one Vendetta with all these. And I'm gonna build another one with Pandos, and I'm gonna test them both in the same base and see which one does better. Monster's right next door to me, so I'll be smacking him after the raid.
Oh, come on, do that.
Raiken, did you have anything you wanted to add about the?
Yeah, so I mean, it's like you guys have seen a lot of coax weapons from us recently. I think the thing that I like about the high concept of a coax weapon is which you kind of sort of started to pick up was the tactical choice, right? Because like as me, it's kind of crummy if like I go in with like Revenge and like kind of blind into somebody else's base or like any ship, and I'm like, oh, I didn't bring the right type of range or the type of weapon, and it's like, well, that sucks, and then I have to retreat and go back and do this whole thing instead of being able to be like, oh, I want to be able to adapt my strategy to a tactical play, to what they set up using these coax weapons. So, like, yeah, you don't have as much, like, control, so to speak, over, like, what exactly your range is and that sort of thing, but you gain the tactical advantage and the utility of a coax weapon. And I think we've been trying to figure out kind of where it makes sense to do it and where it doesn't. We've certainly learned a lot, and I think this one in particular is kind of like a culmination of all those learnings of coax weapon so far, and we're like, okay, this actually like makes sense as a coax weapon, and we feel that it's going to play very well, and it's going to give that tactical choice of like, do I go mortar, or like as Liam was saying, like, oh, I could do a blitz rocket, or do I mix it with a Revenge, or like how do I alternate them, maybe the way I move them, and that sort of thing. And so having all those options as like an available choice in the midst of combat is amazing. And
it's like two or three weapons in one, and 2 or 3 ships in one. Do you know what I mean? You can, yeah. And more so,
yeah.
No, sorry, go on. Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I think more so than the Revenge did. Like with the Revenge, I remember we had you on the show around that time. I think it was the week the Revenge was coming out, and you know we were talking about how it was versatile enough for you to blitz or creep, but this I think brings it in on a whole new level entirely because of the rocket conception as well. You know.
Yeah, exactly, and I think we can talk about this a little more if we can't, if we have time. But basically, like having interesting decisions, and both from a strategy, like both like from a build perspective and in a tactical scenario, I think was something that was kind of missing from Battle Pirates. We didn't really have like a tactical choice. You had like your build, and it did its thing, right? Mm-hmm. And this is the first time where we've really been like, here's your build, and it can do a couple of things depending on the situation. And so I think that's adding a lot more skill and diversity and depth to the game that hasn't been there before. And that's why we're exploring this kind of like design, basically.
Do you know what I had a thought that would be nice, right? When we were having a discussion the other day, I think it would be very, very interesting to take some of the older holes in the game and make them capable of prepping, right? Not necessarily hitting, but prepping, right? I think that would bring a little bit more versatility back into the game as well. Because for the longest time now, most people don't really bother with prep fleets, right? And I think it's getting to the point where that's kind of a viable option now, because base defense is becoming much stronger, and I think there's a distinct lack of fleets that are capable of prepping bases in their current format.
I don't disagree with you about prep fleets not being present right now. I think the thing that I'm waiting for is we're starting kind of a new look at like what a new defender hull looks like in the new PvP environment, and how does that play. And I think we're gonna need to figure out, like, make sure we got that nailed, and we're like, okay, this thing is an opposing force in your base, and because turrets are also strong, like now you feel like you need to prep, like you need to do multiple hits or whatever, and like if that comes up as a thing, and which I anticipate eventually it will to some degree, then at that point I'm going to be like, all right, we need to make something that allows for prepping, or we need to change something so that prepping becomes like an active part of the game again, or at least an option. I
hope so, because I used to love to prep stuff out, but now I just don't bother.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just kind of an unfortunate side effect of like some of the decisions that we've had to make in terms of PvP. And so I think as we start building it back out and getting it more up to speed, I think more opportunities for those kinds of ships are going to emerge. And I think at that point we'll try to put something out that allows for that. I mean, that's certainly like not off the table. It's certainly in our thoughts. So
cool.
Okay, shall we look at the special? The Renaissance Capacitor. So this is a new special that you equip to your ship.
Dude, please. Resonance.
Sorry, I've said,
right.
I literally say that wrong every time.
I got such a bee in my bonnet about it after watching your stream.
So what's it called?
Resonance.
Okay, so the Renaissance Capacitor.
No.
the Resonance, yeah? Okay, the Resonance Capacitor. I think Gadget's going to really enjoy this one. So this offers a turret defense of 50%. Now, one thing I did want to point out is when people seen this, they said, oh, it's broke, it doesn't work with such and such. It's not broke. You can't stack it with other turret defense specials, and that's what a few people didn't realize. It doesn't stack with any of the other specials that offer turret defense, just for the record. So, yeah, the Resonance Capacitor is Legion Tech, Tier 5. It adds 19% weapon weight.
If it's easier, just call it the Res Capacitor.
It gives a plus 36% to all damage. It gives a 50% turret defense. And its special abilities is a stacking tactical bonus of plus 8%. So, Raiken, did you want to maybe explain that in a little bit better detail?
Yeah, so basically it's just, you equip it onto something, and then that is emitting an aura, and then when another aura that has resonance trigger comes into it, it'll gain, as it stacks basically on the +1 end, you'll gain that plus 8% across the board on all those stats, but it's 8% of the base. So, for example, if the turret is 50%, and do the 8%, it's 8% of 50, so it becomes 54%. So, so that's what that means. So basically, every time you stack more of the resonance triggering auras, the more powerful the stats on that become. And same thing if like it get cold snapped, that will turn off, which means it'll affect how powerful that is for the duration in which you're cold snapped. So, so that's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, so definitely, and that's a key point as well, guys. That Raiken brought there is that cold snap does affect this hull. It does eliminate its aura effect. So, okay, so that's a very, very interesting special. And it will be good to. Is there any more slides, Mark, or are we good?
I've just gone back to slide 1. I just want to go back over the revenge. If that can be explained.
Okay. You are screen sharing my beautiful face, but let's.
Sorry, mate.
What do you mean, sorry? Right, okay.
Yeah, sorry, Liam, I've got to say it. Someone in chat said you got Renaissance hair.
I saw that as well. I was laughing.
Well, it was better than my other comment in the page, which I won't repeat on air. But anyway, so fixed a case where the Revenge would not receive damage from certain damage types. That's the point you want to go over again.
Yeah.
Now, I have seen the community very, very, from what I can gather, annoyed about this. Now, I yet to have actually been in the game to test out the Revenges and see the difference. But from what people are telling me, they weren't. There were certain damages that weren't getting the minimum damage. In fact, they weren't damaging them at all. So that wasn't working as intended, and Kixeye have now fixed it, so it is working properly. Now, people can scream nerf, and people can get upset, and people can, get angry about it. But at the end of the day, a hole not getting any damages, is that, you think that's the right way the game should be?
Yeah, at the end of the day, they're wrong, right? Because it shouldn't be like that. No other hole in the game can sit under 8 Apox, a Wendigo,
just not get hurt.
A bunch of missiles, and take 0 damage. I mean, 0. I remember before I made a bunch of base changes, when I had Apox and Revengers were smacking my base every day, I was watching them and I was thinking, how is it that you're not taking any damage from all that fire? You should surely be taking some, right?
Something, yeah.
And it's because they weren't getting minimum damage that all the other holes do. My Punishers were 99% ballistic defense plus 500 deflection. In a DUB, they were still getting damage because they get minimum damage, right? And you've had it great. You've had it great for a little while with your Avengers, and that's fine. But now they're working as they were supposed to work, and you're just going to have to deal with that.
But how extreme's it gone, though?
I don't know, but the principle of minimum damage, if I'm correct, Raiken, for anyone that's kind of, because I know there's a lot of players that maybe don't quite fully grasp the concept. Let's just say, for example, this is a complete metaphor, but let's just say, for example, a hole has 1,000 missile deflection, and a missile is doing 900 damage. Now, that hole's deflection is higher than that missile's damage. Therefore, theoretically, that missile should do 0 damage. But what Kixeye have done is they've encoded something into the game that means that that missile will do a bare minimum damage. Let's just, off the top of my head, as a random figure, no facts, say that missile is minimum damage is 50. So, say, for example, you've got 10 missiles. Each 10 of those missiles will do 50 damage instead of nothing, which is correct. That's how the game should operate correctly, because if they did no damage, in my opinion, the game would be broke.
Yeah, and of course, we had a guy post a video. I'm not going to say any names, but he posted a video of his Revengers getting destroyed in a base that previously he could walk through no problem with a Hellstar in it. Right now, the Hellstar was loaded with blades, and it had a Rhino loaded with blades, and it was overloading. Do you have any idea of the sheer amount of missiles that's coming at you during that? Right, and if they're all doing, even if they're all doing 10 damage, I mean, you're talking hundreds of missiles. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a triple salvo. A Rhino's got 15 slots. How many's the Hellstar got, Monster?
God,
yeah, so basically, Revenge were very much invincible.
Yeah, and now they're not. And the fact of the matter is, I mean, honestly, if you're sitting in front of a Hellstar loaded with blades and it's overloading a Rhino, you should be taking some damage.
Is there any, Raiken, is there anything you wanted to go into on that one? Or are you happy with the way we've covered it?
No, I mean, that was all pretty accurate. So, I mean, yeah, like, it's supposed to take minimum damage. It wasn't taking minimum damage from the various types of damage that the deflection provides against, right? Like in your description, right? Just hitting 0 and taking 0 because the code wasn't detecting the minimum damage, basically. So now it does. So again, further revenge. So that's
yeah. So
and also, as somebody in chat just pointed out, I can't pronounce his name. Watal, I think it is.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
But basically, you know, if you've got Gatling guns on your Revenge, you can still outrange the Hellstar.
Yeah, definitely. Well, guys, I mean, I know we are running a little bit over, but there was a couple of points that Raiken wanted to go into as well, and I'm really sorry, Raiken, that I've left it to this point.
And one of them, the chat was actually asking for zombie subs. Can we talk about zombie subs? And I know Raiken had some stuff to say about
that. Yeah, we can talk about zombie subs. So we kind of put it out there that we were interested in kind of resolving zombie subs. In other words, we would remove them from the game as a viable option, right? Like we wouldn't have zombie subs. We posted it to like the town hall group. They gave us some feedback on kind of what they thought. And we kind of, I mean, I've seen plenty of discussions in the forums and in groups and things, so I'm aware of kind of people's opinion. From what we discussed, right now we're considering the following changes. The first thing is we would require that you have 100% health on a submarine before you can launch it. Now, to be clear, that's to launch it. So if it's still on the world map and it has damage, you can still use it. You can still repair it on the world map. It's simply to launch it. Now, in exchange, we would reduce the repair modifier from 400% or whatever it is on all the subs to the typical 100%. And we would also consider looking at the base repair time of all the subs and potentially lowering those as well. We think that basically solves the zombie sub problem, but it allows for more play on the sub user's part because the repairs are less, so they can play more frequently. It's less punishing when you get caught. So there's a lot of benefits to that. And so that was something that we were discussing actively, and we're very, based on what we've seen, probably going to pursue shortly. So it's something that I wanted to discuss with you guys to see if there was something I missed. But basically, we wanted it to be 100%, I think, because we wanted to avoid like a zombie sub 2.0. Like this just guarantees that doesn't happen. But by reducing the repair times and stuff, we can basically say like, okay, you get the frequency you want, but you don't get the like exploitive nature of zombie subs, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I think you're going to get mixed opinions on that. I think most people on this panel are kind of in agreement, but if you look at the pages and the forums, there's a hell of a lot of people that think their life is going to end if zombie subs are taken out of the game. So, I mean...
Oh, is that because they can't go around sniping fleets now?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think that regardless of whatever you ask, you're always going to get mixed opinions. The majority of high-end... I think the majority of high-end players with big fleets that do a lot of base hit and stuff, they're gonna want zombie subs gone, and the low-end players that don't coin a great deal. Not that I'm labeling anyone anything, but the low-end players that maybe don't coin as much and they're partaking in an alliance or in a game is to have zombie subs and go out and snipe the big guys. So they're not going to like it, and the other end are going to like it. So I don't think you're ever going to find a middle ground on that.
No, I think the thing is that if we don't do anything about zombie subs, they're going to get like pretty much set to the side in terms of the overall game because we can't really make targets for them because of the zombie subs. We can't, like it has some interesting PvP implications for not doing that. And so for me personally, I think subs as like a style of play is really different than pretty much anything else in the game. And I would hate to like have to shut that aside because it's causing problems in other aspects of the game. And so because of that, because I would rather have subs in the game, and I think Red would agree with me on that, we want subs in the game and want to have a meaningful impact and an interesting choice in that regard. I would rather go ahead and take the hit here so that we can make subs and have subs be a healthy part of the game and really create interesting dynamics and exciting gameplay with subs for everybody. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. Now, I think maybe we could look at putting up a kind of like a topic question in the page and maybe ask for everyone's feedback and get that back to Raiken and see what people are saying. So I'll get that done and we'll get that into the page for anyone who wants to take part in a conversation on that. And was there some other topics, Raiken, that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna. I mean, we sort of touched on it earlier. I just sort of wanted to go over kind of the goals of PvP and the plan and how we're making these ships and why. And so the thing that I think I harp on a lot, and I think the team generally vibes on, is it's really important in PvP to have kind of interesting decisions and to have this kind of a dynamic kind of environment for PvP. You don't really want PvP to get too stale because then it becomes pretty boring and not fun. And so, as part of this, we're making, like, you guys are kind of picking it up on the Revenge and the Vendetta. It's like there are going to be ships that have certain strengths and clear weaknesses, right? And then there's going to be another ship that's a different set of strengths and a different set of weaknesses, right? And we pump out like a bunch of them. And right now, we're expediting the number of Conqueror hulls that we're going to be releasing, and we're going to be doing Defender hull next month. So I think, we want to make it such that there is no perfect solve state for any particular thing, right? It's I invest in building my base this way, right? And it prevents people from, or like, let's say revenges are currently common and very popular, right? It's like, okay, I've stopped revenge and with my base, right? But by doing so, you now make yourself vulnerable to other hulls. In this case, let's say the Vendetta. And then like, okay, well, now I'm going to adapt my base to kind of sort of stop a little bit of the revenge, but people are mostly building Vendettas now, so I'm the majority of my base is going to stop Vendetta. And then there'll be like a third hull where it's like, oh, like, okay, that combination doesn't really work against the third hull, so now I'm going to need to adapt it. And so the attacker and the defender are basically dynamically adapting to each other, and it creates this ever-evolving metagame for PvP, and it makes a dynamic atmosphere. So that basically, like, on a semi-regular basis, you're like, oh man, what's today? What's going on? Like, PvP's changed. Oh, this guy changed his base, but I can hit this guy now, and so on and so forth. And it makes it really interesting and exciting from a PvP perspective to like have all these interesting choices and decisions, and who am I attacking, and what kind of ships do I need, and what's the composition, and how do they work together? Like, all that stuff is the things that we're facilitating by making these new line of Conqueror hulls and Defender hulls. We're trying to generate that dynamic atmosphere so that it just becomes super fun and exciting for people who love hitting bases.
That sounds absolutely great, and I think what another thing to pick up from what you said there, Raiken, is we're kind of like in the early stages of this. We're the community, us the players. We're only seeing half the story right now. We don't know what's to come, and it sounds like you guys are further ahead in your fort chain, and we're maybe at like step 2 or 3 and stuff. So for anyone that doesn't quite fully sort of question what's going on, they will probably understand it a great deal better in the future as we move forward with these holes. So that's great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're definitely like kind of getting PvP back off the ground, right? So we're having to expedite what we like. Normally we wouldn't release like necessarily like all these PvP holes back to back, right? We would probably want to stagger that a little better, but because we noticed like there's lack of choice for the attacker at the moment, we're like, okay, well, we need to expedite and get at least something going on, at least some sort of relationship happening, so that at least it's interesting, even with like 3 or 4 holes, right? And so that's what we're kind of focused on right now, and then we'll kind of evaluate where it's at after that point and see if we need to do any more, and if not, we can kind of take a break and go do something else, and then come back and add another PvP hole. And so that's kind of where we're at the moment. So it's just kind of, we're in progress towards what I've described, and I think we're heading there, and I think it's going to be really great once we're there. But it's definitely going to take some time before we're like fully kind of like everyone's like, yeah, this is great. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Was there anything else? I do have one thing actually. For Doom Rooster, Lucy has specifically said to me, Doom, and I said I'd ask, but I've probably not. It's her birthday in 2 weeks, and she wants the glacial turret for her birthday from Kixeye. I said I'd ask. Do you know what I mean? I mean that's all I can do. But it might be worth having.
You're talking about how I want the world. What you're asking.
You haven't got to live with her, right? I've got to deal with her.
For personal favors for your missus, and I want the world.
She PM'd me prior to the show and said, "Oh, can you ask Doom?" And that's exactly what she said, word for word. So I don't know what kind of world she thinks we live in, but there you go, Doom.
I'll just say some feedback from the chat. It just says, "Boo, worst ID ever. Raiken is the worst." That's from Doomster, right? That's actually what he's put.
I
think you should have a little chat. You've obviously got an issue. You need to go in a room and have a little chat with each other.
I think Doom just likes poking you in the ribs, mate.
Yeah, I think he's giving you a
Don't worry, I'll hit him later. It's fine. So.
Okay. Well, guys, have we got anything else to cover, or? We do have a little sneak bit to show at the end, but we'll talk. We'll just say, firstly, I want to say a huge thank you to Hyperius, Laredo, and Doom Rooster for coming into the chat tonight, guys. You've been absolutely sensational. Have I missed anyone, or was that the three that were in the chat? Thanks so much, guys, anyway, for coming in and taking part. I know the chat can sometimes be a bit crazy, but I have been told by the guys that it's been a great chat tonight. So thanks to everyone else, all the members of the page and the followers that have come in and watched it and took part in the YouTube chat. Thank you very much, GD Raiken, as well, for joining us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show for a second time. Really, really appreciate you coming on and talking. It's a great thing to put your sort of hang your neck out there in front of the community. But thank you very much. And guys, thank you everyone.
Sorry. Just one question quickly from chat. Somebody was asking about the towers, and the fact that when you use relay towers in the game, you are vulnerable to being sniped by phantom subs. And this is quite a problem for a lot of players. To be honest with you, it's the reason why I hit in sector, because I don't want to use relay towers to go anywhere, because I don't want to catch a 20-hour repair on my way to hit a base. Do you know what I mean? Or on my way back. If I do use a tower to go and hit a base, you can bet your butt I am not using a tower to come back to my base. So I'm taking an hour and a half to get back to my base after I hit a base, right? And is there any plan to do something about that at all?
That's a really good question. I won't lie, like, it's come up where we were like, I wonder if we should be making a flagship or something that could reveal subs on the world map as long as you have that fleet selected. That was something we discussed. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. But as far as the mechanic of that, I mean, it hasn't been explicitly discussed, so I can't say oh yeah, we totally thought about that. No, it's certainly like on the side of things we've talked about. I mean, there's some options, right? Like how subs have surface and submerged time. We could do something like that maybe on the world map. I'm just brainstorming here. I'm not actually
you could just put a ring around the towers, and as soon as the sub goes in it, it pops up.
Yeah, I mean, we could there are options there. I think that if it really is this huge problem, which it might be. This is kind of I've heard it before, but I just haven't heard it recently. So if it's really something that's a problem, I don't see why we can't think about it a little more. So that's a really good point. So I'll definitely get back to the team and we'll discuss it and see if there's something we can do about that. If that really is a problem, we'll look into it.
That would be awesome. I mean, or maybe even just put in a certain area around each tower where if you're in that area with a phantom sub, you're visible. Do you know what I mean? Or just something like that. I don't know. But you know what? We have something for people, don't we, Liam? Just because everybody's saying bye and good night, and I want them to see it before they tune out.
Yeah, we do have a little exclusive video to show you, which we'll show you when we end the show. I will play the video. It was meant to have sound and it was meant to be of better quality, but we had some issues sort of playing the video live with the stream, unfortunately. But it should be good enough quality for you guys to make out what's going on.
We'll be posting it later sometime this week or next week in the forums and stuff too, so it'll have the sound and all that stuff later. But I figured this was a really fun opportunity to kind of show this. I think people here were just pretty excited about it.
It's a very exciting video, and it's a Kixeye video, guys, not our video. But Kixeye have been kind enough to allow us to share it. So, guys, great show.
Say goodnight now, and then.
Yeah, good night, everyone. Have a great raid. We will be doing Saturday's show, and we will be in the pages for tips and tricks and giving you guys any information we can. No doubt Gadget Monster and the other guys, TSM, myself, will have some videos of easy ways to do the raid on day one. Yeah, just have a blast, and thanks for coming. And I will play that video now. Just enjoy. And this is when I get all the technical problems. Right.
Oh, are you serious?
Say goodnight, all.
No. So good night, everyone.
Good night.
I will do my best to give you the best quality of this video I can. Is it working?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, you're not presented, mate. It's on me.
Really?
Yeah, it's on me. I'm looking in the YouTube and it's on my face. You weren't presented.
Do it again, man.
Okay, sorry guys. Let me go back to that. Is it on me now? Sorry guys.
Hang on. Present yourself, man.
I'm presenting now.
Okay. No. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry for the failure there, guys. I'll play it again. Unfortunately, there's no sound, but it's the best we could do. It's short notice.
Andrew said you're sacked, Liam. He's in chat, laughing at you. Okay, now it's good.
Boom. There we go.
Laredo said you suck. You should have let Lucy do it.
And on that note, hey, Laredo, trust me, I let her. On that note, good night, everyone, and thank you, Kixeye. Great video.